to another episode of a Kolat Club deck forging. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Grain Clan and building a deck I like to call Law and Order. Really wish I had the dun-dun sound, but I'm pretty sure that's copywritten to put in videos, so I don't want to mess with that. How's everyone doing today? Before we get started, just a couple of quick reminders. Gonna point out our schedule. We've got it over on the side here. Make sure you take note if you're interested in any videos we do. Those are probably the best times or best nights to check us out. Typically post between 5 and 5:30. Few other small notes. The Tuesday training grounds will be with the deck from the Monday deck forging, and on Thursday that training grounds will be with my personal deck normally or one of the other members. Going to be introducing everyone. Not sure if we're going to be doing a Roku talk this week. We might need to be starting up next week. Been having a bit of scheduling issues. A lot of people at the beginning of the semester, it's a little bit harder to get everyone lined up, but we'll see how that goes. Another little thing is this week we're going to go ahead and start doing prizes during our weekly shows. So if you leave a comment and you're subscribed to the channel, this week you will be entered in a drawing to win a full bleed or a full art Shameful display. We'll mail it out to you. It's that easy. You just subscribe and leave a comment on one of our videos from that week. If we can get 200 subscribers, I'm going to be putting up a set of the rings from the Kotes. So, you know, if you are interested in being able to win a free set of those, make sure that you go ahead and share this video and like and comment down below, and make sure you're subscribed so you can check out all the videos and the different cards we're going to be putting up for your giveaways each week. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. So let's go over, transition to the lovely deck builder we have here. So very clearly we're only using one Stronghold right now. We're playing Shizuka Toshi. So I'm a huge fan of the Stronghold. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. I think an unopposed action to be able to just sit a guy down really rocks the two super swarmy clans, specifically Unicorn and Lion. A little bit less so depending on the build. My build, this still really hurts because I push political pretty evenly, and this Stronghold just decimates me at times. So that's just my little tidbit on that one. We're now going to go ahead and pick our role. We have two options. We have Keeper and Seeker of Air. They really, really like the air role. Today, I would like to take a look at the Keeper of Air and go ahead and build that. This deck's going to be a little bit more defensive, but you'll probably see why once we go ahead, and we're going to do, instead of deck, we're going to go to type and do our provinces first. So, for this deck, I really think that you need to have a good balance of your different provinces. I think that demonstrating excellence is a very strong one for this lineup because it becomes 5 strength. And then when they do break it, or if they break it, you get a fate and a card, and it's very nice. And if you decide to defend it, you know, they will inevitably run at your other provinces, which you want revealed at least. So we're going to go ahead and add demonstrating excellence to our lineup. Now, gosh, don't you wish you could have it? But this province is probably the bread and butter province that you want them to go to. Excuse my mumbling a little bit. I'm coming down with a cold. It's allergies, and I live in Virginia. We've been just having tons of rain. It's not fun, so excuse the water as well. But Magistrate Station is amazing. You have the ability to honor your characters 6 ways to Sunday. So, this is probably the one you want to funnel your opponent to hit, to reveal, and definitely defend it. If this is up, and they've got to destroy your other 3 because you're just not willing to give it up, this is an amazing province to just be used. Or they have to spend so many resources that it's almost not worth it for them. But, continuing, I also think that this province is just bananas, and that you would defend it, again, all day, every day. So here's where we get into a couple of, personal choices. For today, I'm really interested in using Rally the Cause to switch them to political for when they first attack the Stronghold. And trying to use... It's not Abandoning Honor, it is... Upholding Authority, excuse me. Your Earth province is Upholding Authority. So, here's how your province lineup works. Stronghold punishes them for breaking. Bonuses you for them breaking. You defend these 2 fairly hard. That's how I would do it. And those are my 5 provinces. So, now we're going to go ahead and move down to the Dynasty deck. Let's put Crane and neutral so it funnels out any kind of weirdness. Every now and again, Card Game DB gives you a conflict character in here, which is a little odd. Or it'll put the specific one is Child of the Plains, the Dynasty character for Unicorn, for some reason has the ability to be splashed in this system. I don't get it, but whatever. So, I know a lot of people really like the Shugenjas. We're going to actually stay away from the Shugenjas in this deck, except for one. There's going to be one Shugenja that we put in, and it's not actually this one. I just brought them up as a example of a character with the keyword. Now, the first character, excuse me, we're going to go ahead and go down and do our holdings first. That's probably the best way to do this, and I'll explain the holdings as we take them. Favorable Ground is just super good, and with Hawk Tattoo in the meta, you kind of have to have it to a minimum of 2. Some people would say 3. I think 2 can get the job done. You need to see it at least once. Additionally, I like Imperial Storehouse for this deck. It helps you make sure that you're not going to mill your whole deck out with Satoshi. And that's kind of a big deal, because I've seen people just destroy their Dynasty deck and then lose so many good cards. As a Lion player, trying to get a Spirit Caller target, I will just discard 2 extra Spirit Callers because Satoshi was mean to me that day. This is in there to kind of stop the cycling is hard and still get you a good enough card. Additionally, this is going to do the same kind of role, except this is like the epitome of the holding you want to hit. The Palace, to help you get the favor, is so nice in this deck. Specifically for Yoshi, because of his ability to pitch the favor, this helping you reclaim it every turn really is a massive benefit and huge help to your card draw engine. So Satoshi digging for this, the Storehouse, and Yoshi is very helpful to build a backup card draw engine outside of just needing to bid really high. I find having that specifically in Crane, is really nice because you have so many options for how you're going to draw your cards. Out of the Keeper build, it's a little more restricted, so I definitely like the Imperial build to go along with it. So now we're going to go back and do characters. The first one I would do is Brash Samurai. This character, specifically because he honors himself. You want to use him as a probing attack or as a solo defender. Less so with Shameful Display, but for Magistrate Station, having him being able to defend it at 4 strength or 3 political is very nice, and that's without spending any cards. So that right there will help you, because if you honor, if they have a bow action, you're able to straighten yourself. Even if they like Kachiko you home, you just straighten yourself right afterwards. It's very, very nice. So, I think I actually need to hit the button though, don't I? Brash Samurai is now inserted. I really like this as my 1-drop character. Being able to defend either, but poke for political is nice. You have enough ways to honor your characters. I really, really wish that Crane had picked Keeper of Fire, because, oh my lord, that would have been cool. That would have been really cool to have Imperial Librarian in this deck. Your characters would just be like giants. But, you know, I digress. I really like Callow Delegate. Him being able to, when he leaves play, so you never put Fate on him. He just enters play, and then he helps you fight, or maybe defend a little bit. At the end of the turn, he's going to honor a guy that you put Fate on to make them that much better. I definitely run 3 of him. You will quickly notice that the whole deck is built around honoring or having just an absurdly good ability on a 3-cost character or higher, or specifically being Imperial. Those were kind of my criteria. So, Doji Challenger obviously fits that criteria. While it's hacking, you get to just pull any character in, and we've seen the power of Hawk Tattoo. So I definitely like Doji Challenger. This is a 3 of. No doubt, that is a 3 of. This character is very, very interesting because he makes your opponent use 2 cards every time that they spend 1 for an event. So it's very strong because it's unlimited, and she's a good defender because she will make your opponent have to have the super high bid, which will then help with another card we'll get to in the conflict section. I run 2 of her. I don't think that she's so good that you need to run 3, but I think that she's good enough to run 2. We're going to move down. Guest of Honor is a very powerful card. Less so against Dragon, but more or less everybody else is going to be incredibly hindered by this ability at all times. So being able to take a province and stop your opponent from being able to do very much is very good, especially when you're able to keep playing your cards down. So you are able to dishonor their character, hit them with the Stronghold, and just have this character break a province. Very solid overall. Gonna definitely run 3. Now, I really like Kakita Asami. She will be pretty big on either stat once you honor her. Additionally, this ability at times can really help, especially if you start mid to low bidding and your opponent needs to high bid because they made a massive bullet attack because you forced them into it. You're able to start punishing them on the honor side. Big fan. The other help to this is when you start getting down in honor, you can help it to restabilize yourself. I actually don't need 3 Asamis. I'm only going to go with 2. Kakita Kaizen is pretty solid once you honor him. And with Magistrate Station, his ability to defend and, you know, save your Stronghold province is amazing. He's going to say, you get one guy, he better be strong enough to take this province. That is an old L5R style card, L5R card called Three Stone River. Very, very strong. I played it a lot back in the day. I would run one of him, maybe two. For now, we're going to run two. He's someone that you can kind of swap around. He's kind of a playstyle preference. Not necessarily needed, but I enjoy running him. Now, Kikita Yoshi is the backbone 5-drop of the deck. He's part of the Satoshi search engine, because having, you know, the Imperial Palace to help get the favor, then you're able to discard it to draw cards, be able to play them really cheaply, and then you can take the favor again. It's amazing. He is a 3-of in the deck. Now, just a second ago, I was talking about Kikita Kaizen and saying that I kind of use him as a switch around card. The card that I kind of rotate switching with is a Kodaka. Right now I'm running 1 of her and 2 of Kaizen, which seems to be working fairly well, but I think about toying with the idea of having 2 Kodakas and 1 Kaizen. We'll see what it comes out to later. I wish this card was air. Oh my goodness. Anyway. Sedan? I don't know. Down in the comments below, please tell me how you pronounce these words. If I am missing anything, please. If I'm messing it up, please. You know, I really, really appreciate the help last week with the Lion build. You guys are awesome. So, got a couple of emails trying to help me out too. So, appreciate you guys. But this card is, in my opinion, very strong. It's 2 for a 1/2/1, and then it's +2 if you take air or fire. This deck's kind of built around having air, so often you will see that this will be a card you'll be able to get pretty big. Savvy Politician is amazing, and the backbone of pretty much every single Crane deck there is. 2 cost is the only real issue, and I say that in the sense that you can just assassinate her, but just super, super amazing in value regardless. We're gonna get 3 of her in here. Right there, right there. Alright, so now you get down to your choice. You should have, I believe, 6 slots left. Okay. So, these final 6 slots are really your decision making. I really like having 2 of this card. He's just very expensive. Oh wait, I'm missing a very important card. Minus him. You should have 3 Satoshis in the deck. You should only have 3 spots open. Yes, sir. Or ma'am. Excuse me. So, I either like 2 of this character and a 3rd favorable ground, or I like Silver-Tongued Magistrate. My reasoning for Silver-Tongued Magistrate is that you're able to pull them with the Satoshis to help stop the deck just destruction, and this card shuts down the Blitz decks because they don't put a ton of fate on their characters. So you're able to, or they don't put fate on them very much at all. So you're able to swing and all of their guys are like, well, I'm not here to do anything. Or you can void a character first and then swing with this one, and a character they thought was ready to fight before is not anymore. The other choice you can do And the one we're going to do for today is actually going to be, however, Cautious Scout. At 2 cost, is able to be assassinated. And alone is not the biggest character you'll ever have, but is still very, very strong. Allowing you to swing in and take provinces like Feast or Famine, things like that, require your opponent to deal with him. Period. End of discussion. He must be dealt with. So we're going to run 3. Because that seems like a good card. Then we're going to go into our conflict deck. Now, I hope you guys are with me so far. These are what I refer to as the Law and Order characters because they push a lot of honoring. The provinces are going to hit you hard. So now we're going to go into our conflict side. But first we need to decide, well, what's our splash going to be, right? Today we're going to go ahead and do the Scorpion Splash. You have so many courtiers that being able to play 3 copies of Forged Edict is really strong. Now, here's where you can start really, changing it up. Blackmail is a card you will often not be able to play, but those 1 or 2 times, if you have 1 splashed in, that you hit someone with it can be game-ending. However, I really like calling in favors, or is it the first card? It's probably the very first card. Yep, it is. A Fate Worse Than Death. For this build, we're actually going to be doing a Fate Worse Than Death because it's not restricted. Oh, nope, we are not doing a Fate Worse Than Death. I need to learn to read. So do 2 Fate Worse Than Death, excuse me. And that would be my splash. Other options you can do, Mark of Shame is another really good one, with Meek Informants. It really depends on what you're trying to go against. This is strong against Dragon if you're able to make sure they don't, or not make sure, but if they don't have a Finger of Jade on them, this card will rock somebody. And Forged Edict to back it up is very powerful. So it really depends on what style of deck you want to build. Let's say that we wanted to do 3 copies of Mark of Shame. Because we're air. It requires an air roll. Seems legit. And then we would run 3 Meek Informants. Because, being able to look at your opponent's hand seems pretty strong. You know what? I think we're going to go with this today. We're going to do this. Because tomorrow, I think this will be more fun to play in the Training Grounds video. So, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do a game time decision change from my build on the other page. And this is what we're going to do now. So, now we're going to go back up. Let's go and just remove Scorpion right there. I'm not going to talk like Bob Ross. I'm not going to do it, even though I really wanted to right there. And we're going to go through and we're going to add the cards that we definitely need to have in the deck. So, we're going to have 3 court games. Being able to honor your characters or dishonor your opponent, very strong. 4 shames. We need to run 3. Being able to put the, decision on them, dishonor, let me push that dishonor/honor, or just bow. So it's good defensive/offensive card. So we're going to go ahead and pop 3 of those right in. Big fan of this one. It can be any kind of conflict, and you duel your political stats. So you honor a guy like Yoshi, and suddenly you're just telling them to sit down. So, I am a fan. Then we're going to come down. I definitely think 2 outwits are necessary for the deck. They're like kill actions, essentially, in the last fight. And if you have, like, if a dragon player swings in military, but they don't have a ton of attachments sitting on political, or if a crab player does that, or if a lion player does that, and you're able to just, sneak defense and send home just the right enough amount of strength to make sure that you're able to live, it helps. I do it a lot with my lion deck. It kind of annoys people. Sorry about the shifting of the page. I definitely like Political Rival. We're going to start by putting 2 in. We might upgrade that to 3 at the end of the video. We'll take a look and see. Now, Soul Beyond Reproach. This card is great for Crane. You are pushing your honor and dishonor very, very hard here. I also like Steward of Law. With For Shame, this card becomes just kind of a bow action. And I actually take that back. It's not kind of a bow action. That card has just become a bow action. Love Voice of Honor. So we're going to run 3. So that's right, you have 6 cancels in this deck. Anyone who tries to hit you with a massive card, you should have an answer to. And hopefully they won't be able to out-cancel you. That can be an issue, but we'll hope not. And then you have Way of the Crane. Now you have 6 cards left in the deck that you can kind of decide what you want to do. I definitely think that you have enough card draw. I was talking earlier about a card that not a lot of people have played and or probably thought about in a while, but Disdainful Remark. With Magistrate Station and Shameful Display, Disdainful Remark will help you keep those 2 alive for a long time in the draw 5 meta, because your opponent's going to constantly feel it. I like running 3 copies of it. I would consider running 2 dependent on a few other things. Let's take a look at those. I definitely think having 3 bonsais is super important, because no matter what, that allows you to contest military provinces. And that means that no matter what, your opponent has to respect you. That gives you a 40 card deck. You can drop a couple of things down to, 1 or 2 of, like, you could drop down to 1 Shameful Remark, or Mark of Shame, and, 1 Disdainful Remark, or drop a Disdainful Remark, and you could put Finger of Jade, Fine Katanas, the Ornate Fans. There are a ton of other good cards. Noble Sacrifice, and I mean, that's a card that I would consider running. And for tomorrow, I'm very interested in attempting to do it, but I don't know what I would cut 1 of right now, because I kind of really like this whole build. So we're going to keep this. So this is the deck we're going to be playing. Down here, I'm going to have a, showing of a lot of it. But we're going to post the deck at the end of the video. But that is our Crane deck for Law and Order. It's a lot of honor and a lot of dishonor, a good amount of cancels, and the ability to be huge force by dishonoring and honoring characters, lowering them, raising yours. I think that if this deck minus Soul Beyond Reproach and Mark of Shame, we would need other ways to honor and dishonor. But Imperial Librarian, man, would fit really well in a deck like this. It'd be great. But that's it for today, everybody. I want to say thank you for checking us out. gonna go ahead and remind everybody we're going to be doing a giveaway for Shameful display here, the extended art Shameful. And all you have to do is subscribe on the video and leave a comment down below to be entered in for our drawing. The drawing will be between this episode, tomorrow's training grounds, and Thursday's training grounds. And at the end of the Thursday training grounds, we will close out everything and have a poll for next week's deck forging. Additionally, on the next deck forging, we will be announcing our winner and telling you how to get in contact with us. But for now, my name's Ryan Rockett, and want to say thank you guys. Have a great day. See you later.